the kitchen of intrigue, Curt Jackson and Chris Kal-El are cooking up a batch of mystery soup.
Each episode serves a new blend of tips, tactics, trends, and tales from the business and design sides of the escape room world.
So grab your spoon, because this episode starts in 3, 2, 1.
Mystery Soup.
Welcome back to the Mystery Soup podcast. I'm Curt, and with me as always is Chris. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good. It's summer camp in the fall, so it's a weird kind of chaos here.
That's right. That's right. You finished. You're done though.
Camp is over. Summer's over, but now it's the fall season where everything else is weird. So, and I'm working. I'm working. I just had to look at the date to see when this airs. I'm working on the new escape room here. So
that's going to be replacing the medieval one.
It is replacing the Quest for the Golden Pineapple. We're
Right.
building the new. I changed the name of it. Defeat the Diabolical Professor O.
Nice. Okay.
I thought about, was it Chris Moschella that has who has the crazy long, like the
Yep.
nanny?
That's
Was
him.
it Chris? Yeah,
Yeah.
I need that. I'm gonna get one of those crazy long, defeat the diabolical Professor O and his evil minion
And his
possum friend or
henchman.
something.
Yeah, right. That'll be fun.
Go long.
Awesome. It was the last episode that we talked about your puzzle room, right?
Yes, the Emporium.
Yep, the Emporium, and how cool that is. Big
Yeah,
response. So
We got our big family camp coming out. So
nice.
Tanya and Paul, you may know this too. Do you have families coming into your escape room? Do they argue with each other like some of our families do here?
Oh yes, all the time.
Yeah. There's
much.
times I like it because I'm like, oh, this is so good. It's like some family. But then sometimes you got some of those parents, especially the dad, stop touching everything. Don't do this. And the kids are doing it right. Leave them alone. So
Yes.
Right.
we're going to see how they do on the Puzzle Emporium, see if it's a little bit different since everyone can kind of do their own thing and it doesn't affect everyone else. But
Yeah.
So-
No, it's awesome. So as you can probably tell, we have guests for this episode, and it's Tanya and Paul from Lock, Clock, and Peril, which
I love
is
that name.
Yeah,
That's
such a great name.
Thank you.
And
Tanya.
oh, was that Tanya? You came up with that name?
I did.
Love
It took me a while though, but I got it.
Yeah.
Went through several names first, and
It's
settle
not
on that one.
easy. It really isn't, because a lot of the stuff is taken.
exactly. And you don't
Yeah.
want to be too similar to other ones. So
Yep. No, I love it.
Chris, if he had his own escape room business, it would just be Chris Kal-El's
Yeah, I
Escape
mean-
Rooms.
Why
All
would I
about
put
That's
anything
perfect.
else? Why?
No copyright infringement there at all.
That's right. I keep renaming things here at camp. We have Lake Kal-El as one of the lakes. We have the little staff building is called Chateau de Kal-El. I just keep renaming stuff with my last names, so it's fine.
Oh my goodness. Tanya and Paul, thank you for being here and for doing this. And
It's our
taking the
pleasure.
time out. I know you went out and got new headphones specifically for this. They look great, by the
we
way.
did. We
We're a
did.
little behind the curve on some of this stuff,
I love
but here
it.
we are.
This
Here
is our
we
first
are.
podcast.
It works.
Nice,
I-
nice. Well,
I'm
I
using
hope you
my kids' headphones that I think they got free at school, so mine aren't too
enjoyed it.
impressive today.
So tell us about yourselves and your lives outside of the escape room.
Well, there's not a whole lot to us. We're basic people. We love going to like Goodwills and thrift stores and antique stores and shopping.
Yeah.
That's my personal favorite. Paul, he loves to golf. So
Okay. Like real golf, not mini golf. I'm a mini golfer or frisbee golfer.
Well, I don't know if you can call what I do real golf, but we go out there and we try anyway.
Fair enough.
we also love to travel. So we love mostly cruises. So we have a cruise
Oh.
planned this November. We're taking our staff with us.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, they've been with us. It'll be
Oh.
2 years in January. So we decided to treat them to going on a cruise. For Royal Caribbean has
Wow.
escape rooms on their cruises. So
that's amazing.
All right.
we
So
can
you
do that.
hiring? That's all
I
I
know,
want to know.
like I'm working in the
Okay.
wrong place.
Man.
We're always
Chris, have
looking for good people. So
right?
yes.
Chris, have you been on a cruise?
I have not, but I am kind of a chicken and worried that I have a feeling I'm going to be like motion sickness. Everyone tells me I'll be fine, but I have that. It's not a phobia, but I don't like that trapped feeling, and I just feel like I would be stuck, like I couldn't go anywhere. I don't know. I need to try one. If you want to send me on one, Kurt,
I haven't been either, but I really want to go.
Let's go. We'll go.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it.
Yes, you should. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be going?
We're just going to the Bahamas.
Okay, yeah.
So we're leaving out on a Monday and coming back on a Friday so that we can be open that Saturday, since Saturdays and Sundays are our busiest days.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. So fun.
That's very cool.
They're like our kids. We don't have kids, so they're like our kids. So.
I love that.
So what are your backgrounds and careers that you guys have prior to the escape room, I guess?
I've pretty much been self-employed since I was 19 years old. And it started off in car audio electronics. And I was in partnership with another gentleman. And at some point, we split up and I met Tanya. And then we had a loan business that we got into. And then I got back into car audio. So I've made a full circle. And then recently closed that down and went full time with the escape rooms.
Okay. Tanya, how about you?
Well, basically, I had the background in doing loans. So we owned a loan company and we did that for about 8 years. Then we had the building here built in 2006. So Paul opened up this car stereo shop and we had our loan company next to it. And then we decided to close the loan company and we rented that space out for a little bit to like a comic book store. They stayed there for a little while. And then once they closed, we decided to try escape rooms.
Yeah. That is the jump, I feel like, from loans to escape rooms. That seems
Exactly.
It's a natural fit.
Are
no
you
background whatsoever.
Are you happy about making that transition? Or do you go like, oh, we should have opened a Subway?
I do like subs.
I do like
Yeah,
right?
I do miss the car audio business, but it was getting a lot more difficult in more recent years with the newer cars. And quite frankly, the customer base is getting more difficult to deal with things like that. It's a lot more dangerous working on newer cars. And my stress levels were pretty high. So this is a lot less stressful.
What's the best car radio? I feel like back in the day it was Alpine.
You know, Alpine has gone through a rather big transition. Now I'm 2 years out of car audio.
Sure.
So I might be a little outdated on this. But once Alpine kind of aligned themselves with the big box stores, they really lost a lot of their innovation. And I think they lost a lot of their quality control too, because they were forced to keep their prices down. But it's still a good product. Pioneer is always a good, reliable radio, but they've had their ups and downs as well. But the staples, Kenwood, Pioneer, JVC's always thrown in there too. And
Fisher
Alpine,
Price.
Did you say Fisher Price? I don't know any of these. So then I was like, maybe they do. I don't know. Like, so what is the origin story of Lock, Clock, and Peril? Like, how did you jump from loans to escape rooms?
Well, that's a funny story. We were actually in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, with some friends of ours, and we were eating dinner.
You're speaking Chris's language right
now.
Oh,
yes.
Gatlinburg. I would live there if I could.
Too. But we were eating dinner and my friend looked across and she said, "Hey, there's an escape room over there. How about we go play one after we get done eating?" And I was like, "An escape room? What is that?" And she said, "It's a place, I'm not really sure, but I think they lock you in a room and then you had to figure out the clues to get out." So I'm like, "Okay, we'll go try it." And we went across the street and we booked a room for later because, of course, they couldn't get us in right then, being, we didn't realize that you really needed to book ahead of time. But they booked us for later and we came back and did it. Had a great time. Didn't make it to the second room. We didn't even know there had a second room. We just thought, we're just in the one room. But when they opened up the second room, we were like, "Oh, this is awesome." But we played like 6 more that same weekend and had a blast. Then Paul, we're sitting there eating dinner again, and Paul says, "By this time next year, I want to have an escape room." And I said, okay, whatever, fine, honey. We'll talk about opening an escape room next year, no problem. Then we get home and I'm at work and I'm doing the bookkeeping and he walks by me with a tape measure. And I'm like, babe, what are you doing? And he said, I'm getting ready to build an escape room. So he had already started taking measurements of the building, the square footage. He started moving stuff from one side we have like 3 sections in our building, a side A, B, and C. He started moving things to the smaller side A because he wanted to turn the bigger side C into the escape room. And within, let's see, probably about 2 weeks, he had already cut a hole into the wall so that we could get into the other side and to open his stereo shop that way. And then within a year and 1 month, we had our first 2 escape rooms open.
Awesome.
Determined.
Yes.
Determined.
Love it.
Is that
that's how I would do it.
Is that the same place you're at right now?
It is.
Okay. And how is that location working out for you?
It's a difficult market,
Yeah.
but we own the building outright.
Right.
So that makes it a lot easier for us.
You're right next to some base.
Shaw Air Force Base.
Okay.
Right.
Do a lot of the military come over to play?
Yes, we get quite a bit, and it's kind of seasonal depending on what time of years that they're coming through. And
Really?
we have new people coming in all the time, and it's usually, I think that centers around June or something like that. And then people coming in from TDYs from other bases and stuff like that. So yeah, the base makes up a large percentage of our clientele, and sometimes a year it's actually a lot more than half.
So it's not bad since at a base, there's going to be that kind of constant turnover. So you get new people regularly.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, the games you put in, those first 2, are they still there? Is it the same 2?
It is the same 2. We're planning on changing those. We're working on our 5th room right now.
Oh,
and
wow.
once we finish that room, then we'll start over with Undercover Agent because that was our very first one we ever created.
Okay. Now, Curt's gone, right? You did the alien one.
We did Teleporter Trials. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep.
tell me a little bit about your games. What are the games y'all have then?
Well, our very first one was Undercover Agent. That one, you're going undercover as FBI agents to catch an evil doctor. Then our second one is Paranormal Investigators. Now, our paranormal is not as scary as most. We try not to be too scary with those.
Good. I don't like scary rooms.
Yeah, it's more, we tell everybody it's more of like Scooby-Doo scary.
Yes.
So
Nice.
we have a few jump scares, like loud noises, but nothing, there's not going to be anybody chasing you. It's not like Nocturne Adventures, which is amazing, but, nobody's going to chase you around. It's more creepy themed inside to make you feel like you're in a haunted house, even though, you're just in an escape room.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have Tomb Raiders, which is one of our fan favorites. That one is, of course, an Egyptian tomb. With that one, we tried to keep it more to theme. So that room has no keys and no locks in it. But it does involve crawling, climbing, and sliding. So that sometimes limits our customer base because a lot of people can't crawl. There was a reason we had to do that. Paul, do you want to tell the reason for that?
Well, we were short on space.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at one point in our lives, we had a fireworks stand, and we weren't doing that anymore. So I took the fireworks stand and I moved it up against the building, and I cut a hole through the wall, and we go outside temporarily into the Connex building. And we were struggling with a beam it's a horizontal beam about halfway up the wall, and I didn't feel comfortable removing it. So that's why you go under it, to go outside.
Oh,
gotcha.
You got to work with your rooms. I like it.
Start calling you Joe Dirt.
Pretty much. But
Snakes and sparklers.
It has its own air conditioning system out there, and we make sure everybody's very comfortable while we're here, so you don't have heat problems or anything like that.
And then the last game there is Teleporter Trials.
It is. That one is also another fan favorite. That room also has no locks and no keys. And we went through several different steps on that one and finally decided on the final ending to that room, which everybody seems to like the little twist on that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to give it too much away, so that way people will come and see it on their own. But we
had Vincent Stevens on, and he was saying as long as you have a really good intro and a really good ending, and the middle part, it's decent, people are gonna really enjoy it. And I think about Teleporter Trials, and I was like, oh, I really remember that beginning and that ending.
Yes.
And the puzzles
Thank
were a
you.
lot of fun too. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So when you're designing these games, by the way, I'm surprised there is no stereo store heist, but that's another conversation. But when you're designing these games, what's kind of your process?
Loan shark, yeah.
Actually, we had a couple of those when we were open, though. People
Yeah.
broke in to steal car
Oh,
stereo
no.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
wow.
That's something else we don't have to worry about with the escape room businesses. I don't have to worry about people breaking in,
That's
stealing
true.
stuff. So
Right. So yeah, basically the design process. How do you go about that? Do you just think of a theme first and go from there?
yes, and Tanya does more of that than I do. She really takes the lead on stuff like that. I kind of fall behind. I don't have the vision she does. So I'm more like a point and click kind of guy. You tell me what you want, I'll make it happen.
There you go.
So Tanya can tell me what to do, and then I do it very well.
The
Usually.
Beauty and the Brawn, is that what's going on
That's
here?
right, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and with a lot less brawn, just Beauty and the idiot.
Well, that sounds like Tina and I's relationship. All right, so then Tanya, I guess if
Yes.
you're the designer, how does that work?
Well, you said it exactly. I think of the theme first, what I want the theme to be, and I start thinking about what I want the story to be. And then I kind of base the puzzles around that and try to build things that fit the theme and go from there.
And you have fun shopping at thrift
Yeah, that's
stores
what
and
I was
Oh,
just
antique
I
about
love
stores.
it. Yes, I
Yeah.
love it. And I know that your question was, what do you like to do outside of escape rooms? But most of our life revolves around escape rooms.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we're doing. Everything is a puzzle to us.
Yep.
If I see something at a store, I'm like, I can make that a puzzle. It just happens to be that way now. So I can't think of anything but escape rooms most of the time.
We've almost had to stop going to antique stores because I have so many things already. Like, oh, I'm going to turn that into something for this theme one day. Like,
Yes.
but yeah, it's getting there. Oh, I love it. So then, Paul, are you all set design? Are you building everything then? Mainly?
Yes, I pretty much build everything. It's me and Tanya. I do have a couple of friends that come in and help me with some of the stuff we can't do ourselves, and that's pretty much just manual labor. And it's a couple of good guys, Terrell and Davis Hudson, which Davis has moved away, but they're the brawn.
Yeah.
If we can't do it, they come in and between those two guys, we can get just about everything done.
Nice.
And okay, what is your process with? I know, like right now, I'm looking at changing up my room, and I already have it all kind of built. I have the walls down. I'm like, it's got to look different. So I've been drawing it out on paper how I want it to look. Is that a part of it, or you just kind of get in there and go? Or
I draw it out on paper. That's exactly what I do. I'll sit there and make the whole floor plan and how big I want each room, where each puzzle is going to go. Sometimes a lot of times that gets changed, but that's essentially where
Most
I
of the time,
start.
that
Yeah.
gets changed.
Yes.
that is
Yeah.
true.
You know, we're constantly filling up every single wall space with puzzles. So you're pretty much just you're trying to figure out where will this fit and will it work with the theme.
Mhm.
And that's a lot of it. And occasionally I get to throw in my own little puzzle here and there, and something I love to do. And most of the time I have to change some of her designs to make it fit in the space. And
Yeah.
we work really well together on that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes he has to bring me back.
Yeah. Tanya,
Yeah.
how big are your groups that come in? Do you have are they 4-person groups or?
The majority of our groups are 4-person groups if we were to average it out. But we do get as many as 6. We've had as many as 12 in a room. We
my
don't
goodness.
like to do that, but
Right.
if they insist, we will allow it. We can't do that, unfortunately, on the teleporter because the teleporter physically can only hold up to 6, possibly 8 people tops,
Okay.
because it's very small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you
That's
designing
crazy.
like a more non-linear game, or do you like it to have kind of a linear path? with your
The
puzzles?
more recent games have been nonlinear games. We're
Mhm.
trying to have it where you can work on separate puzzles at the same time. So when we do have larger groups, not everybody's just standing there and waiting for the other people to finish that one puzzle so they can continue to the next puzzle. So yeah,
Right.
most of our games now, essentially it goes back to linear, but we like it to be where they can break off, do puzzles, and then come back together. And then again, break off and then come back together.
Gotcha. And then Paul, I know that you're the tech guy, right? When it comes to tech, you put that together. So
Yes, sir.
what kind of tech? Well, first of all, what kind of tech do you use in the rooms for the puzzles? Are you Arduino? Are you Escape Keeper? What do you use?
Unfortunately, I cannot speak the Arduino language.
Yeah.
So I am not an
Me either.
Arduino man, and I'm way too proud to let somebody program my stuff. I want to know how it works. So that's probably one of my big faults. I am analog. A lot of my stuff are just basically RFID, standalone RFIDs and reed switches and
Yep.
mag locks and latches and we have to use some controllers here and there, and I use some PLC stuff for that. Fright props has helped us so much over the years.
Mhm.
While they're expensive, they're very good as far as reliability and durability.
Yeah.
Very robust products. I don't think I've ever had a problem with a single one over the years. But going analog, I'm able to use cheaper components, and we don't have a lot of failures. We
Yeah.
seldom have a problem with anything. Mostly wear and tear, and then, of course, customer breakage.
Sure, always. So when you're game mastering, do you use a specific system, or are you just cameras and maybe a couple override switches?
You named it. Cameras, microphones that we can change to different rooms, and then, like in our Tomb Raider room, we basically have to turn things off. Standalone RFIDs, you'll get some chatter. So after they trigger them, then we turn them off so they don't make noise anymore. They don't confuse them.
Mhm.
And then, we have the bypass switches, and I hate to say this, but sometimes people just don't get a puzzle.
Mhm.
And we'll let them proceed through the room or through that puzzle, and they think they've got it right, and they never know because we just trigger it. That keeps it smooth. It keeps them on time. Ultimately, we want people to have a good time, and we don't want people to be stressing over a single puzzle. I don't want that to be where they fail either. Where
Sure.
they got one puzzle where they just couldn't figure it out, and they sit there for 35 minutes and can't get it.
Right. Yeah, that's very much like what they do at Nocturne too, right? So there's,
Correct.
yeah, exactly. And then it looks like you use Bookio for your registration system. You happy with that?
Yes,
Yeah.
Bookio has been very well. There's a few things that I wish they would change. And it might just be me, but I have trouble. Like if you want to change the prices,
Mm-hmm.
you have to go and schedule that like at a certain time that you're going to change all the prices. At one particular time, we tried to change the price, and it had emailed all the previous customers to let them know they still owed like $5
Oh
because
no.
yes, that was horrible. I'm like,
No.
disregard. I'm so sorry. we had
Right.
Do you
changed
want
the
to pay
price.
$5? We'll take it.
It's my PayPal. Just
Yeah, exactly.
But again, I think that was all me. I don't think it was Bookie. I just think I didn't know what I was doing. So
I'm with you. Some of that tech is crazy. I've watched things on Arduino. And I'm like, I feel dumber having tried to learn more about Arduino. Like I don't know. I'm too old, I guess, for it. I'm with you. I like all the little reed switches and the RFIDs and mag locks. It's simple in my head and just it works. So
right. The PLC stuff, I see myself moving towards that a little bit more. That works for me because it's basically a diagram. You're basically
Yeah.
just filling in a diagram, and I can totally follow that.
Yep.
It's almost like a schematic. But Arduino, I tried to learn it. Yeah, I struggled. I got frustrated. I put it all in a box, and I haven't looked at it in 5 years. So
Yeah, that's me. So do you guys have other escape rooms near you, or are you kind of the only one in your area?
the closest one to us will probably be, I would say, Locked In Florence. They're about maybe 40 minutes away from us. And then the others would be like Columbia, South Carolina, and they're more of an hour away from us.
Oh wow. So that's pretty good distance. Is there anything you guys would say would keep your business a little different or set apart from the others?
I think the way we approach the family-friendly aspect of it, our lobbies are brightly lit and our rooms are not such a dark theme. And
Oh, thank you for
you,
that.
you can bring your 6-year-old kid in our room and he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Most of them. Some of them are. And I'm not knocking the super scary escape rooms, but they're definitely not family friendly for stuff like that. So that's more what we went for. I don't know if that was on accident or on purpose, but that's where we ended up.
Well, I always tell myself I want to go a little scarier with this one, and then it never happens because I'm like, no, because I don't want to push away families, and so it never happens. I can't be as scary as some of the other places. But also, I think for us too, everything that you see in our rooms is hand built by us. Everything from the design work on the walls, the painting, the sheetrock walls, everything, all the props, everything is made custom by us. So I think that makes us a little different than others too.
I like that.
Well, one thing with the family friendly vibe, I want you to talk about your bonus prizes, because that fits well within this.
There's bonus prizes.
Yes. Oh, yes. We have bonus prizes in our rooms. All of our rooms, we hide items in there. Usually it's 3 items. If you can find all 3 of those items, you get a bonus prize at the end. The bonus prize can range anywhere from you can choose whatever you like, but we have cups, we have shot glasses, keychains, fidget toys, just little things that everybody gets if you can find all the secret items in the room.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It gives them
it's
just a
really
little bit
fun.
something extra to do.
Well, especially for younger players,
those little ones
that don't quite get the whole puzzle thing, they can search. And
Exactly.
I know the older we get, the worse we are at searching. But those youngins, oh my goodness, they're on an Easter egg hunt.
Yes, exactly right. They'll find them every time.
Love it.
If the parents would just listen to them too, because sometimes the kids will get the puzzle and the parents will totally ignore them.
Every time.
Every
time. That's true. I've had to go over my microphone before and just say, hey mom, listen to your child, like they are correct.
Yes, exactly right.
It's so funny. Is there anything you all would say you'd like to improve on or change about your business?
Definitely the front of the building. We focus so much on the inside of the building, the puzzles, the decor, everything inside, that we actually just totally forgot to do the outside of the building. So it looks more industrial than I like it to be, more like a warehouse. So I think that's what I want to focus on next, is trying to make the outside match the inside.
But we did just have some trees planted out front. I think that helped a lot. It definitely breaks up the straight lines of the building a little bit. So I think that helped a lot.
Hopefully they'll survive the flood that we're having right now. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, we're having another flood because the hurricane coming through right now. So
yeah, we're supposed to get up to 16 inches of rain through Friday.
Ridiculous.
Although the weather when it's not great is usually good for the escape rooms. Maybe not flood weather, hurricane weather, but a little bit of rain is okay.
Oh yeah, a nice rainy Saturday.
Yeah,
sometimes can be a big day.
Oh yes.
Is there much else to do? Is there a bowling alley in town?
Oh yes, we have 2. There's one on the base, and then there's one downtown. We actually used to be on a bowling league, but since we started the escape room, we quit bowling for a while. So hopefully we'll get back into it.
Do you get out to play escape rooms much?
Not as much as we'd like, but we're starting to do it more now. We were having so much on our plate with getting this new room ready, and then we also helped some other escape rooms build their rooms. And now that we've got those done, we can still working on our room. Once we get that done, we can start getting back into playing more rooms.
Yeah. They're going on a cruise to play escape rooms.
That's true.
Exactly right.
Escape cruise.
I mean, have you heard that? I mean, it's like 12 people going into a room to play in this. Strangers and everything else. I don't know if that would be my thing.
We've played it once before on a cruise. This one is different though. This one's going to be a 30-minute session instead of an hour. But the last one that we were on, I absolutely loved it. We didn't do much as far as doing the puzzles, but I loved watching the new people interact with the puzzles and seeing how they
Mm.
loved when they solved something and something opened, they were really, really excited. That just was worth it for me. Me and Paul pretty much stood back and just watched our group of friends and this other family that joined us play the rooms. That was very rewarding just to watch people play.
That's the fun thing about being a game master too, just watching people play.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you first opened up, were there any mistakes that you made that maybe new owners should try to avoid?
Yes, but Paul's saying is we can tell other escape rooms what not to do better than we
There
can
you
tell them
go.
what to do. I would say for me, I think our biggest mistake was actually having a leaderboard and limiting customers to 3 clues.
Mm.
Because right now we'd like our rooms to be 100% or close to 100% everybody escapes, because people have more fun when they get out.
Yep.
They paid good money to play the game,
Mhm.
so I want them to be able to finish. So back then when we had the rooms where you could only ask 3 clues to get on the leaderboard, newbies especially would not ask for help because they wanted to be on that leaderboard so badly. But you're telling them the timer is going, you have 5 minutes left. No matter what I do, I can't get you out now. No matter how much you ask, there's not enough time for me to get you out. So once we got rid of that leaderboard, and we were actually encouraged to get rid of the leaderboard by Will at Escape Artist
Okay.
Greenville. And I thank him for that every time I see him.
Yeah.
It's so much better. And it's so much better on our game masters too, because they're stressed because the customer has 10 minutes left. They're not going to make the leaderboard, and they're barely, if they're lucky, they'll make it out. So it stressed out the game masters as well as the customers. So I'm just glad that we got rid of that part.
Yeah, our last place, we had a leaderboard, and I said, when we get a new place, we're not doing that. There's too many reasons against having a leaderboard, but that's a good one.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Any other advice you'd give to maybe some new escape room owners or aspiring escape room owners?
I think it's tough for new owners to kind of listen to one another and compromise on things. It seems like that a lot of times the new owners there'll be one person that's in the lead, and sometimes they'll just lead them down a road that's not going to be with a good ending. And then some of the people that had some really good ideas get kind of railroaded, and they don't really get to express their or get heard on their ideas. And we've seen that a couple of times. And then sometimes you can have too many cooks in the kitchen too. So we've seen that the other way as well. But I tell everybody, do it. Just find a way to do it. I don't know what the escape room industry, what it is, what the long-term aspects of it are for, what will happen. But I feel like everybody should, if they've got a dream to do it, just try it.
That's awesome. Very, very unlike the advice we've gotten from a number of people, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's true. Most people, they don't like, it's almost like they love escape rooms, they love their job, but they're all like, it's kind of like teachers, don't do it, don't get into it.
Right.
It is work and money.
The time and the money. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to make a killing at it like you think, but the stress levels are so far down. When customers come in, they're happy. We don't have to deal with mean customers. When they come here, they're looking to have fun. They're not looking to have a confrontation or to start a fight with you. Also, don't be afraid to reach out to other escape room owners, because they're the ones that can tell you what not to do, what to do. And this community is great with owners. The owners will share openly. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out to other owners. That's one I would give to people.
Well, especially in the Carolinas, you guys have a good network there.
Yes.
We do.
So, yeah. So what does the future hold for Lock, Lock, and Peril?
First and foremost, we need to finish our 5th room. People have been hounding us lately because they're dying to play it. It's going to be a not so fairy tale ending, all fairy tale themes. The whole entire thing is all fairy tale themes.
That's fun.
So we're hoping to have that open 3 more months, Paul.
I hope so. We're getting
Come on,
close. We're getting close.
Please, Paul.
I hope to have it done. I really do.
When did you start? How long does it take to put a game
I'm
together?
embarrassed to tell you. We started on that probably September of last year.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. We broke off for a couple of months helping other escape rooms, and we still haven't finished that up as well. We have one more room to finish up for them, but I enjoy doing it. There's nothing I could imagine that I would be doing that I could love as much as this.
Cool.
I love building things. I love the challenge of making something work. It's just, that's what just kind of tickles my brain, is just trying to figure out something or make something work. I love to make things open differently. So if you see a lot of our rooms, you'll have, I don't just have doors open. I have like things slide open and things open kind of weird, and that they tuck back in the walls and stuff like that. And then that's what I really gets me going.
So you could be done with this pretty quickly, but it's all those little extras and the little things that make it your signature rooms, and having fun putting it together that takes the time. Yeah.
Yes.
And also we'll build something and it just doesn't work in the room. It just doesn't fit the theme, and we'll scrap it. We're not afraid to scrap something. If it's just not fitting the room, I don't have any problem just tearing it apart and starting over. I'm not married to anything like that. Sometimes it's tough when you've got a couple of weeks into something and you're throwing it into the trash can, but in the end, I think it's worth it. It gets you a better product.
Sure.
There's definitely a lot of fun in the build too. Like I when I get one room done, I'm ready. I'm like, all right, somebody else go run this. I'm ready to build another room. Like I want to do something different. So
yes,
I
there's
enjoy
always
that
another
part.
room.
Yeah, I enjoy that part. Here at camp, we have these escape bags, and it's little escape rooms and backpacks. We'll put locks and stuff on them, and I have 3 ready to be built right now because I'm just like, oh, I want to do this, and then I'll go find another bag. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add that one in next, and I'm always thinking about the next one.
Did you finish your Indiana Jones one?
The Indiana Jones is done. So right now I started my Bigfoot bag, my hunt for Bigfoot. And then I saw this giant hamburger. I wish I had it here, this hamburger backpack. And so now I have hamburgers, fries, and a drink. I'm making a whole McDonald's employee bag right now.
That's
and I have this bag. I get too many right now in my head, but none of them are even started. They're just the thoughts.
Nice.
So,
all right, you two. So it's time for our speed round.
Yes.
Okay.
Chris is going to ask you a question. Answer with one word, one sentence, but no more than that. All right. No expanding on it. And there are no bonus prizes, so you'll have to take your own bonus prize at Lock, and Peril. Whichever one you want, you go ahead and
go pick out something nice. Yeah.
I might take 2.
Hey, now.
All right, Tanya, we'll start with you first, and then Paul. What is a favorite movie of yours?
Oh, The Princess Bride.
Good one. Yes.
Paul?
I've always liked the movie Idiocracy.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
All right. Paul, you'll be first this time. What is one game or location you really want to play or visit?
The ones in Louisiana, I think that's where we talked about. 13th Gate. I really want to do those. Yeah.
Cool.
There we go.
And Tanya?
Canada. I want to try the Escaporium.
Okay.
Yes.
I've heard good things about that.
Montreal.
Yes.
Right. Tanya, you're first. What is your favorite board game?
Oh, I love board games, so I'm going to say Scrabble.
All right.
Paul?
Bananagrams, that counts as a board game?
Yeah, it does.
Very similar to Scrabble.
It is. Just in a banana.
That's right. All right. Paul, do you have a favorite YouTube or TikTok channel?
YouTube would probably be the Y-Files.
The Y-Files.
Yeah.
All right.
And Tanya?
I actually do not. I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube and TikTok.
Oh, good. Don't get hooked. I'm so addicted. So addicted.
All right. Well, that wasn't too bad. You guys did great.
Thank you.
Bad at all.
Yes.
Fast
You guys made it very easy.
Yes. Very easy.
So give us a story of an unusual group or incident that happened at your business, if one comes to mind. We love to hear these stories.
Oh, for me, it would be we had a young woman and a couple come in. So there were 3 of them, 2 ladies and a male. and they came in to play the Tomb Raider. And she said that her friend sent her to us because he loved the game and said they had to come play it. So she showed me a picture of him and she said, "Do you know him?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "He was just here the other day with a girl." And she said, "Excuse me?" And I said, "What?" She said, "Did you say he was here with a girl?" I'm like, "No." "You guys really need to sign these waivers now." So, yes.
I said
Oh,
squirrel. He was here with a
no.
squirrel.
The couple was standing behind her and they're doing like the kill sign, like stop talking, don't say it. So I'm just trying to zip my mouth and I'm like, "So you guys, let's do these waivers here and get you started." And she was like, "Well, I need to use the restroom first." So we let her use the restroom. And while she was gone, the couple said, "Please don't tell her about him because he dates other girls because they're military and he dates the girls from his squadron." And I was like, "Oh goodness, I'm so sorry." But while she was in the bathroom, she pulled up our Instagram post where we used to post customers' pictures, and she found him there with a girl. And so she came out very, very unhappy, but she still continued to play the game. Yeah, she
That
had a great
is-
time. But it started off a little rocky, but towards the end, she had forgotten about it for a little bit in the game. When she came
Yeah.
back out, though, she was ready to go home and talk to him.
Right.
But yes, I
Wow.
felt so bad because I didn't realize that it was a boyfriend. Because she said to her friend, she's like, "Do you
yeah.
remember him?"
And that's part on her if she just called him a friend.
I agree. I
But
agree.
how about don't send your girlfriends to a place that you take your other girlfriends to?
Seriously.
Maybe you tell her, "Hey, the rooms here in Sumter suck. Go to Florence or go to Columbia. Just
Yeah,
don't go to
that's right.
Sumter."
There, nobody's gonna like it. Oh, that is high quality. I love
That's
it.
so funny.
Yes. I felt so horrible though.
We've also had a military guy. I guess he probably just got stationed here, and he came to the escape room with a girl, and we didn't think nothing of it. And then it probably wasn't even a week later, he came to the escape room with another girl, and it became a pattern. And he would just bring his first dates to the escape room. And once he learned the room, it made him look, very intelligent. So
Yes, he
that
played the
was his
same room over and over.
You had an escape room Romeo.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
I didn't know there was a name for it, but I will keep that in mind.
There is. Because you think this is like an urban legend, but so many escape rooms have had the escape room Romeo come in and yeah, they look like they're so intelligent, but they've played that game many, many times with other dates. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And my lips are sealed.
That is awesome.
Well, your Instagram is not sealed.
That's
right?
true.
That's the whole reason we do not post
Yeah,
pictures anymore.
no
We
Oh,
more
there
actually
you go.
use their phones. So we
Yep.
take the picture with their phone and they can post it if they want to or not post it. So
Yeah.
we no longer post pictures of our customers because we've had that too many times now. So
That is so
Wow.
funny.
That is crazy.
Brilliant. I never would have thought of that. I'm gonna go start doing rooms before I bring my wife just to show her how much smarter I am.
well, how long have you guys been married?
14 years now, so she
Oh,
knows
wow.
I'm an idiot. It's been too long.
We've been together 30 years. So
It's awesome.
Oh, wow, yeah.
thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, she's still with me
Yeah.
after all this time. It's amazing.
Well, hey, thank y'all for being. This has been awesome. Love talking to y'all. Tell everyone actually, what's the best way to follow or contact you, like your social media, things like that you want to share?
The best way to follow us would be Instagram and Facebook. The best way to contact us would be either through emails, which I go through the emails personally, so it'll come directly to me, or just call the shop. We're there. We're at the business 95% of the time. So if you call, you can get a hold of one of us. Our email, which is lockclockandperil@yahoo.com, or you can call us on the telephone and talk to us that way.
Great. We'll put all that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. I'm glad we got you on here. It's funny because Will and Nicole and Tom, they were like, you got to have Tanya and Paul on. So they definitely recommended getting you on. So thank you guys so much. And hopefully we can get up there when you have your new room.
Yes,
and
we'd
play
love to
that.
have you
Definitely.
guys.
Love
Yeah.
having
Cool.
And Chris, we'd love to have you down.
Yeah. How far are you from Gatlinburg? What's the
About
That's
3.5, 4 hours, I think.
it's not too bad.
Yeah,
That's
about
not too
that.
bad. I can make that. So very cool. All right. Well, this has been Curt and Chris. Thanks for joining us on this thrilling adventure. Remember, in the pot of puzzles, every clue is a secret ingredient, and every challenge is a chance to stir up something extraordinary. Stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop searching for the perfect recipe in the mystery soup. Until next time, keep your wits sharp and your sense of adventure alive. See ya.
See ya.
Mystery soup. Mystery soup. Mystery soup.